NAD is everywhere right now. Social media, supplement ads, podcasts, it's become the go-to buzzword for energy, brain fog, and longevity. But here's the truth. Most of what you hear online leaves out biochemistry. And most importantly, the clinical reality of how to actually use NAD and its precursors effectively. Hi, I'm Dr. Douglas Christensen. I'm a naturopathic doctor specializing in men's health, metabolic dysfunction, and performance-based medicine. In my practice, I see a lot of patients who are burned out, fatigued, or just not bouncing back like they used to. And NAD is something I use regularly, but only when it makes sense for the person's biology and clinical picture. So in this video, I want to give you a clear, down-to-earth breakdown of what NAD does for the mitochondrial level, the common myths about NMN, NR, and how I decide between IV, subcutaneous, or oral options based on the individual. So let's zoom out and start with the basics. NAD stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It's a coenzyme, meaning it doesn't do the work directly. It enables key enzymes to function. Inside your cell, NAD plays three essential roles. Number one, redox reaction, where it shuttles electrons to power mitochondria and create ATP. Number two, DNA repair, where it fuels enzymes to fix oxidative damage. Number three, sirtuin activation. It helps flip on your longevity genes, support metabolism, detox, and your ability to adapt to stress. Now here's the catch. NAD levels drop with age, and even faster if you're sleep deprived, stressed out, drinking too much, or dealing with a metabolic dysfunction. When NAD is low, the system starts to fray. Energy production slows, oxidative stress increases, DNA repair starts to lag, and you start to feel it. You'll feel things like fatigue, brain fog, and even accelerations of aging. This is why NAD is foundational in my regenerative or longevity protocols. But taking a random NAD supplement will not get you there. Let's debunk a few common myths. The first one, NMN or NR equals NAD. This is not quite. These are precursors, not NAD itself. Your body has to convert them using enzymes, cofactors, and gut absorption. That process can vary wildly depending on age, inflammation, and metabolic health. The second myth, NMN is superior to NR, not universally. NMN uses a dedicated transporter in the gut. Think of it like a VIP entrance into the cell. NR, on the other hand, enters through what's called the salvage pathway. Think of it as your body's recycling system for NAD. Both have their place depending on the tissue that you're targeting and the individual's physiology. The third myth, more NAD equals more energy. Not exactly. NAD enables energy production, but it's not fuel on its own. If your mitochondria are depleted or your system is missing cofactors, simply raising NAD won't create a sustainable energy. It can actually create more oxidative damage. Myth 4, oral NAD precursors work for everyone. This one's big. If you have gut inflammation, neurological dysfunction, or mitochondrial burnout, you might respond better to IV or subcutaneous delivery routes. And I see this all the time in my clinic. Now the big question, how I choose the right route for NAD support. Let me back up a second and explain how I match delivery method to the patient. IV NAD. This is reserved for neurological issues, chronic fatigue, or patients with serious mitochondrial depletion. And I dose anywhere from like 100 to 500 milligrams over like a 2 to 3 hour period. It can feel intense though. You get symptoms like tightness in your chest, nausea, anxiety, and if it's pushed too fast, it can exacerbate it. This is also very game-changing though, but it's not for everybody. The subcutaneous, this is my go-to for consistent mitochondrial support in high performers or patients in recovery. Anywhere from like 2 to 200 milligrams, you inject sub-Q 2 to 3 times a week. It's great because it's self-administered, it's well-tolerated, and easy to pair with peptides, mitochondrial nutrients. And think of this as like your maintenance dose for NAD integrity. Oral NMN, it's great for preventative cognitive support or metabolic flexibility. I dose it in the morning, aligned with your body's circadian rhythm of sirtuin activation, and when your genes naturally turn on. Oral NR, ideal for patients who don't tolerate NMN or have digestive sensitivities. It's gentler on the GI tract, good for traveling, and it's very helpful for post-IV to sustain levels. Here's where people go wrong. Boosting NAD without supporting methylation and cofactor pathways is a recipe for symptoms like anxiety, palpitation, and overstimulation. Why? Because NAD turnover increases the metabolic load on your mitochondria. If your body isn't buffered with things like trimethylglycine, magnesium glycinate, methylated B12, or a B complex, you can get a surge of demand without the support to match. This is why I always pair NAD to support with co-nutrients to ensure it integrates properly, especially in redox-sensitive patients. For quality and sourcing, always use GMP-certified supplements. And 503A or 503B compounding pharmacies, especially for injectable NAD, because the raw material can have high contaminants. If you're buying online, FullScripts is a solid platform. Amazon, however, is not. You want to avoid any type of labeling that says for research only, not for human consumption, or that lacks a certificate of an analysis. Even trace contaminants can undo all the benefits that you're working to build. The bottom line, NAD is one of the most powerful molecules we have when it comes to aging well and maintaining cellular energy. But using it correctly matters. You don't just need more NAD, you need the right form, the right dose, right delivery system, and all the right supportive stack. This all aligns with your biology. When that's in place, NAD can improve mental clarity, support recovery and repair, or boost resilience and energy, and help you stay biologically younger longer. But it's not about hype, it's about precision. If this helped clarify how NAD works and how I use it in practice, consider following for more breakdowns like this. And if you're ready to personalize your protocol, reach out to my clinic in the link below. I'm Dr. Christensen. We'll see you on the next one.